everyone, welcome back to my college football games of the week. It is week 12. We are nearing the end of the season, and this weekend is another good one. Let's get into it. Game 1, number 21 Kansas State versus number 25 Kansas. And this game is exciting to me because how often do we get a ranked matchup between these two teams for the Sunflower Showdown? I also just kind of love the rivalry name, Sunflower Showdown. It works for me. But I'm excited about this one because Kansas State still has a ton riding on this season. They can still make it to the Big 12 championship game. So for them, this is a must win. Kansas, obviously still a good team, being ranked in the top 25. Frankly, not as much to play for. But if there's one thing a team loves to do, it's spoil the chances of their rival. And this game, like I said, frankly, hasn't had many big games in it to really have that powerful kind of rivalry feel to it, at least from the outside looking in. But this time, it's a ranked matchup. There is a championship on the line for Kansas State, the ability to make it there. They need a little bit of help. But still, I'm really excited for this one. And it all kind of comes down to me, who is playing quarterback for Kansas? Because Jason Bean is hurt. He's hurt. We, at the moment of recording this video, have not heard whether he will be playing or not in this game. And if he doesn't play, keep in mind, this is already their backup quarterback. So the injury luck has not been good for Kansas so far. If he doesn't play, this one feels like a game that could get kind of nasty kind of quick. If he does play, I could see it being a close thriller type of game, some old school Big 12 football. I'm excited for this one. I'm ready for the Sunflower Showdown. It'll be interesting to see who plays quarterback for Kansas, but I think Kansas State gets it done regardless. Game number 2, number 1 Georgia traveling to number 18 Tennessee. The last game of the ranked game gauntlet for Georgia, for now at least. But I've been talking about this gauntlet for the past couple weeks now. They're 2-0 so far. Now it's time for game 3. And this one is kind of interesting to me because both their previous games were at home. Now they travel to good old Rocky Top for this big matchup. And frankly, I don't see this going to be much of an issue. Do I think Tennessee has a chance? For sure. Of course, any team has a chance. But do I think that they can compete with Georgia? Not really. Coming off a huge loss to Missouri, 36-7, which is a massive loss for a game that I called a coin flip of a game. They're trying to bounce back. Georgia's not a team you bounce back against. Georgia is a team that you need every single piece of momentum you can find to beat. Now, the one thing that I will give Tennessee, and it's really not giving to Tennessee, it's just kind of an observation about Georgia. They've played only 2 true road games so far this season. They played Auburn, who they beat 27-20 in a close game, and Vanderbilt 37-20, which isn't exactly, some really tough place to play at. And frankly, that's a Vanderbilt team that they should probably beat by more. But that's just something to keep an eye on. Do I think it's going to be enough for Georgia to lose this game? No. But it's something that they haven't really experienced. And in the limited experience they haven't. Obviously, they've done good enough to be undefeated, so it ain't that bad. But there's just been a couple things where that kept the game close in Auburn that makes me just kind of just keep an eye on it. You know what I mean? So I think Georgia wins this game. I still think they stay number 1 in the college football playoff rankings, but it should be a fun one in Rocky Top. Last but not least, let's get into my game of the week. Number 5 Washington versus number 11 Oregon State. This is a huge game for Washington, as it feels like maybe this is the game that gets them over the hump in the eyes of the playoff committee. Like I said, sitting at number 5 on the outside looking in of the top 4 for the playoffs. But this game's super interesting to me because both of these teams kind of succeed at the other team's weaknesses. For Oregon State, they run the ball really well. And Washington has struggled stopping the run. And obviously, Washington is a very, very good team. But if you were to kind of pinpoint one part, I think it's the run defense. And Oregon State has 2 running backs that are both right around 6 yards per carry. Very, very good offensive line. And Washington, their run defense just hasn't been that great so far this season. I don't know if I'd say it qualifies as bad, but it's just the weak spot of a very good team. So I'm interested in seeing if Oregon State can kind of control the pace of this game and play the game that they want to and dictate where this game goes via the run game. But on the flip side, Washington has his QB. He's pretty good. Michael Penix Jr. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's incredible. He's really, really good. And if Oregon State was to have a little bit of a weakness, I'd probably say it's the passing defense, because they really haven't played any huge passing aerial attacks. And when they have, it's looked pretty meh. It looks pretty average, their pass defense did. So now that they go against one of the best quarterbacks in the nation this year, now we can see if this is a real weakness. And if it is, it could get nasty. So I'm interested in this one because there's two weaknesses that the other team seemingly succeed at. I'm interested to see which one of these weaknesses show themselves the most, because I really think it could come down to that. Oregon State, a very good team at home. The weaknesses that I just pointed out feel like the keys to the game for each team. Whichever team can take advantage of that, I think will win this game, and I think Washington is the one to do that. That's going to do it for me for Week 12. Let me know who you think are going to win these three matchups, and if you have your eyes on any other games, let me know down below.